Right, hi lads and lasses. Sorry we're a couple of minutes late, but we were just in the middle of doing a few technical bits and bobs to try and get on. Trying the new mic out and what have you. Can anybody, if there's anyone out there, can you give us a shout out and tell us whether the audio is okay? If you could, that would be absolutely fantastic. Well, let's get the chat on. Hey, you alright everybody? Alright lads and lasses. Welcome everybody to the stream. Hopefully we're going to have a big barrel load of fun tonight with a bit of luck. Right, can anybody give me a bit of a sound check? Just give me the thumbs up, tell me if the sound's alright and everything, and we'll make a bit of a start. Hello Blood Eagle, hello Clayton B. You alright lad? How's that throw coming on? I've still not had a chance to have a look at them videos yet, mate. I'm really sorry, but I've just been absolutely mowed over, or mowed under I should say, doing other coaching videos for the last 2.5 days or whatever it is. I've just been non-stop. Right, Blood Eagle here, Steve Lamore. Hello my man, you alright out there? Sam Myers. Alright lad? Anthony, you alright there lad? All good, great stuff. That's what we like to hear. Is the sound quality good and all? Because this is a thing, it's a new, like, more expensive mic. I've still got the old radio, the tiny little one. Tell you what, fantastic piece of kit from Amazon for 27 quid, I'll tell you. Seems to work really well. And I've even been able to get rid of me, what do they call them? My call centre mic. Loud and clear, mucker, nice one. Hiya Dan, hiya Anthony, you alright? Lee Redpath, alright mate? Ryan Parr, hiya, loads of the usual regulars in there, great stuff. Don't forget, get them questions coming. Don't forget the super chat down here if you want to support the channel. What I'm going to do for the super chatters, starting next Friday, is on every one of the live streams, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and give something away. So everybody who does a super chat on one of the things, one of the live streams, what I'm going to do is give something away. Depending on how many I get during the actual session, if I get enough, I'll give a set of darts away. If I don't, it's going to be flights, stems, that sort of stuff. But obviously, if it's enough to pay for a set of darts and what have you after the deductions, bearing in mind that YouTube takes 30% of it, then obviously, if it comes in at that, you know what I'm like, whatever the money comes in, it goes back out again. But I just think it's really great to be able to give somebody who maybe not be able to afford a set of darts or something like that, but just be able to give something away. Just make it really nice. Right. Hello Ellie. Ellie Dyson. Hope you're okay. Hey up Dave. Hey up lass. Darren E sips in. Alright Darren, you alright? Right, what I'll do is while you think of some questions, I'll have a bit of a chuck, shall I? Right, let's get the old darts out. You notice that was stuck in, come back over. Did you notice that was stuck in the board? I think that's one of the best 180s I've ever done. And I did it while I was doing a live coaching session with somebody. Right, virtually at the end, so I just left them in. It was brilliant that. I had all 3 darts in about 1/4 of an inch. Oh. Oof. Need a bit of loosening up again. Oh, this is a bit odd. Got a great big lump in my pocket here. I have to shift this radio mic. It's making it a little awkward. Right, That's better. Ashley Calver, another regular. Hi Ashley, alright mate. Dark Knight, let's go Dave. Sorted. Hi Gregory. Hi Kieran. Hiya mate, hope you well. Hope you're well mate. We'll have to sort those things out. What we'll have to do is, I'll have to get on to you. We'll have to try and sort some out, maybe do a little bit of a chat so you can come on live with me. And or maybe record it beforehand and do it as a video or something. I think that'll be quite interesting. Paul Boardman. Hiya Paul mate. All the best. Game of Thrones. Great stuff. Hiya Game of Thrones. Another regular in the house. Yep, that's all you need, mate, is a Sharpie pen. Absolutely bang on. It's a damn sight cheaper than these rings and some of the stuff that they have out there. I find it entertaining, to be honest with you. I just find some of it a bit of, not a joke, because obviously if you think that it helps you and you believe that it helps you, then it will help you. But I find the Sharpie's a lot cheaper. Yeah, well that's why, is because what you're doing is you're focusing on that small area. As I mentioned on Friday, a lot of dart players are just throwing at the board. So the throwing, as I said, when you throw for the treble 20, you're looking round here. If you put a tiny dot in the middle of your treble 20, you're looking round here. So your focus is tightened. And that is something that you'll find a lot of the pros do as well, without really saying, or possibly not even thinking too much about it. But that is what they do, is they concentrate on a small part of the board, and it takes your focus off the board itself and onto something specific. He's Birdie Boys in. Anthony Gaming, TB Gaming. Any advice on the best men? I think to be honest with you, the best mentality is basically a game mentality, and that is what I always say about doubles is it's the whole heart of the game. That's what the whole game is about. Is if you're playing 5-on-1, slightly different if you're playing cricket and stuff like that. But if you're playing the normal game, which is 5-on-1, doubles for dough, trebles for show. So going for your doubles, what I do when I'm practicing, and I find this really, really good, is never hammer at a number. Always 2 or 3 visits, 4 or 5 visits, 5 visits maximum at any one number, and just move it around. So a great one obviously is your splitters, which is your 16s, 8s, 4s, 2s and 1s. Don't forget 1 is a really, really important double because we all find ourselves on it. Same thing sometimes is you might have 1 dart left in hand for 26 and you've got to have a go at it, and it's not something that people throw at all the time. Double 9 is one that 99.9% of people hate, but for no reason whatsoever, because it's the same size as all the rest of them. Right, let's see if I can get a little bit of light on me. We were struggling on Friday, weren't we? Right, there we go. That might be a little bit better. That looks a bit better, doesn't it? Right, you might actually be able to see me now. I don't look like the man from Uncle anymore, do I? But yeah, that's the thing with the doubles, mate, is just whatever you do, don't spend too much time on any particular one of them. So just move yourself around a bit. Just structured, but never dwell for too long, because all that does is you just get like the mentality where you just hammering, and you'll find this, you get worse. You don't get better, you get worse. You start getting more frustrated, your shoulders start to drop, and then you miss more doubles than you hit, and it's like a spiral. You just spiral down. No, I haven't hit any more 180s with a meet yours because I haven't tried. I haven't tried. But like I say, what I'll do is I'll have a chuck with them every now and again and get them out, see if I can hit some more 180s with them. But I'll tell you what I might do is I might do treble 19s next time, see if we can do a thingy 171, eh? Actually, I might have a go at that in a bit, live on here. Oh, Dan. Hiya, Dan, mate. You all right? Samurai board, fantastic. Look at it on the thingy. If you have a real good look at it, if you've got it up on your telly or something like that, that board now has been, in practical terms for a normal use, that board has been hammered. those Meteors, as you can see, have done virtually no damage to it whatsoever. I mean, all right, you can go and pay, like for a shot board, I forget what it's called, but the shot board, I think are they about 60 or 70 quid, or maybe even 80 quid. For 90, you can have 3 of them. So there's no way anybody can tell me that 3 of them isn't gonna last longer than one of the 180 boards. So it's horses for courses, isn't it? I'm never going to do down the thing of the Blade 5 because I think they're fantastic. The Blade 5 dual core is the ultimate board for a pub, I believe myself, because the hammer, I've put, must be 10 in different pubs round Tameside, at least 10, maybe more. And I always use the dual core ones when I go and put them up in a pub. And I tend to go to the pubs where they don't have a dartboard and put one up for them, put an hockey down and all that. Put some darts behind the bar, and it just helps our game move on, hopefully, to make it more popular, get more people into it. The more people that get into it, the bigger the prize money becomes, and it becomes better not only for the professionals, but for us grassroots lads as well. Right, so we've gone up, we've gone down, and now we're on the Scottish lad does darts. Yeah, I'm looking at something. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the SOS package, mate. I really am. Yeah, brilliant. I'm looking forward to that because I love getting stuff off people, you know, because it's like Christmas, isn't it? It's like having a bit of a Christmas because you never know what's coming. People have sent me darts now, flights, and some other bits and bobs. I've done some reviews with the flights and bits and bobs, the points and what have you that were sent to me. I've got a repointer. I've got those Simon Whitlock darts, which I'm going to make up with the Condor flights in different stages. I'm going to do a video on that hopefully this week coming. And yeah, it's brilliant. It provides really good content, and also it's got a good end point to it as well, because those darts, there'll be 1 or 2 things that happens with them, right? I mean, those ones will definitely go on to somebody who needs a set of darts. Basically, it'll be either Stockport Disability Darts Clubs, or every now and again I get people who send me some really nice letters and what have you that have how they're getting along and what have you, and you know what I mean, they might mention that they've not got a really good set of darts or something like that, and if it's a young lad or a young lass, I'll send them a set of darts in the post or something. But I do that just at random, and I think I've done that for a long time. But that's what will happen with the darts that come into me. So if any of you guys out there have got any darts that are like new and in the case or the box, just email me at dj.llewellyn123@outlook.com. And if they're just sat in one of your cupboards or one of your drawers doing nothing, I will make sure that they get to somebody who needs them. And that's not a problem whatsoever. Hiya, Darren. Right, one little one here from Darren. What's the damage to send? What's the damage to send you a video of my throwmates? Right, coaching video. Best thing to do is send me an email at dj.llewellyn123@outlook.com. But the thing is, the live coaching, the coaching videos, it's a personal coaching video. Cheers, Brett. Nice one, mate. Thank you very much. I'll get you a 180 in a second. Basically it's 40 quid. So it's 39.95. Not talking about the 5p, it's 40 nicker. And for that, the coaching videos, they're personalised to you. So you send me your videos. I watch them, I analyse them, I go through them, the same as if I was doing it online or face-to-face. The good thing with a coaching video, the really good thing is, you can refer back to it. Because what I do is I upload them to OneDrive, and you get a code to view them. And as soon as you get that code, what you do is click onto it. The first time you view it, download it into your PC, and then you've got that forever. And it's really good because you can go back to it. So you can go back and you can view it time and time again. So when you have a bit of a fall into bits and you think to yourself, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, you can video yourself and then go back to that and think to yourself, right, now I know how to put that right. If you're struggling and you can't put it right, it's just a matter of having half an hour or an hour with me online. Dead simple, same thing. The online coaching, if you want to do online through Zoom or WhatsApp or something like that, it's £40 an hour. So for a full hour's coaching session, in which, to be honest with you, I normally find and correct your stuff within 20 minutes, half an hour, and then what we'll do is we'll have a bit of a chuck and what have you, and a bit of a gab, and I'll keep bringing you back to it and make sure that you're getting everything right, and that's what they are. So during the week, they're £40 an hour. At weekends, so Saturdays, Sundays, £50 an hour. So it's as simple as that. Right, Brett, let's get you the finger. Let's get the old man fired up. Right, so here we go.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg dynamite to throw. Game on.
Are we ready, Brett? Here we go, mate.
180.
Yeah. Magic. The first super chat that's in today. Thanks very much, Brett. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. Neil Magalski's in. Hiya, mate. Nice to know that you've made it. Great stuff. Great stuff. Neil's always got some really good comments and some really good questions. So love it when the regulars are in, because they ask all the questions and what have you. But if you're not a regular, get a question asked. Or get a super chat in, and I'll give you a big shout out and what have you to make a big fuss of you. Right. So let's all carry on, have a bit of a chuck. It's cold in here. It's a bit nippy in here, lads. Well, lasses, a bit nippy. $81. Oh, Tumsky. Hiya, Jack. You alright, Jack? How are you, mate? Stu McNally! Top man, how you, Stu, mate? You alright? What a chap this is. Tell you what, he's one of the biggest guys. He gets on everybody's thing, everybody's YouTube channels and everything. He's an absolute star, is Stu. He's probably one of my biggest fans that I've got, and he's really, what a sorted fella he is. Really is. Gary Thompson, hello, Dynamite. Always a pleasure to. Great stuff. Do you know something? I know who people are, but like you, Gary, I know who you are because you email me and what have you, and you come up on here and on the chats and on Facebook and what have you. But sometimes you just don't link people, and I never linked you with Tornado. But Tornado Darts, get on it. Get on it. I'm all right, Stu. I believe you think you've just about settled down now from going like that and being on boat. Great stuff. Jack Thomas. Yeah, I'm all right, Jack. I'm doing really well, to be honest with you. Everything's starting to settle down now. I'm starting to actually move forward because we've got the Skrill and the Streamlabs stuff where people. The Streamlabs stuff is really good because you can just go on with a card or something, and you could, if you want to make a donation, you can just go on there. It's got set amounts. You just click on them, put your card details in. Jobs are good, and it's starting to get not back to where it was, but it's starting to pick up a little bit. If you use, come back here, Clayton. Yeah, you were right over to one side, and the other thing with that was you were right up against the wall as well, which is obviously sort of like makes you not claustrophobic, but it puts a little bit of pressure on you. Yeah, it was just a matter of getting in the right place on the hockey and a couple of other little bits and bobs. Like I say, it's a path and it's a journey. You got to stick to it. You stick to it, and I absolutely promise you, it'll make a massive difference to the way that you play darts. Absolutely massive. Cheers, Stu, mate. Cheers. That's another one. Gary, what we'll have to do is once I start getting this sorted out, I've got to get my head around it and what have you, because I'm old and that. I'm not very good with technology, as we all knew when I first tried to do a live stream. Because couldn't believe that. It was just all that bad. It cost me the best part of £1,000 to get it sorted out and get going. But that's the sort of thing people don't realise, you see. They think it's a bit like, I don't know, Chris Mason or whoever, you've just got your phone and that's it, and you're just on and you're live and you're broadcasting. Nah, it don't work like that. My thing in my laptop was, well, about 7 or 8 years old, my old one, and the internet in the house wasn't up to it, so I thought it was, but it wasn't. But now we've got all the wall-to-wall and the boosters in and everything. It's made a massive difference, and the investment was well worth it. Because I get to talk to you lot everything twice a week now, don't I? Which is brilliant. It just gives me that connection that I never had before. I'll put these darts down. It's like thingy when you're doing the videos, it's isolated, if you know what I mean. You're very separated from the people that well, it's not serving, I don't think, but I mean, I suppose it is in a way. The people that sing that I'm helping along with their game and helping doing the coaching for them and stuff like that, you're sort of like isolated from it. So you're doing like a coaching video, but there's no feedback from it, if you know what I mean. All you're doing is you're just doing pieces to camera, which are fine. But the thing is you don't get that feedback of the people that are actually benefiting from what you're doing. So this live stream where you guys are talking to me in the chat there is absolutely fantastic. The other thing that I was thinking of doing and all is, and I don't know how this is going to work because I know that there's a lag between what I'm doing live here and what you're seeing. It's about 10 seconds, about 8 or 10 seconds lag on it. I'd love to be able to start doing phone-ins, like some of the radio channel sort of things do. You see it on radio, don't you, where they have a phone in and people can actually phone in and talk to you. Now, I think that is another thing that would be really good, and that's another thing that I'm going to look into. And then everybody who's on there, if you want to, you'd be able to ring a mobile number and we'd be able to chat live on air. But obviously I've got to work out how that works with the lag and everything. I don't know whether you'd have to do, like they say on Good Morning Britain and things like that, where they tell you to turn your TV down, and so it's not like echoing back and going round in circles and what have you. But I think that'd be really good. That'd be able to get somebody, or give somebody the opportunity to be able to ask me live questions and etc. etc. So I don't know what you think about that. I think it might be a quite good idea, but let me know. Oh, that wasn't. Grouping was all right, but that's a problem, I suppose, when you're yakking and chucking. $60. Should have been more. Should have been more. Should have been more. Went for bread and breakfast there. Oh. Ah, right, there we go, that's why. Hi Stu, mate, had a wee chucked. And I was feeling I wasn't throwing great. Just turned just slightly away from the board, and honestly, it was... Yeah, well, like, I'm pretty sure you have, if you've adopted the way, it's a matter of when you've got that, if you've closed your chest slightly, it allows your arm to move about. So it's really important that you're not stood like square on, because obviously the shoulders have to come round so the dart comes to the side of your head instead of coming to the front of your face. But same thing, if you open your chest, it means that your arm can wobble about. All you've got to do is turn your chest out very slightly and it fetches the stop where your arm comes back to the stop. Everybody can feel this. If you just stick your arm up like mine and allow your shoulder to rotate out and your elbow, you'll come to a stop. And that stop is exactly where your arm comes in and out. And it just feels like you've got your arm against the wall, as if you've got something like making your arm go straight. That's just one of the things, like I say, when I did that 2.5 years of research and development and actually developing the Dynamite Dave throw, these were all the things that I went through. And that's why it took me so long to do it, to work out how any human being with a normal skeleton will can use the stop, and it just makes the throw dead easy and what have you. And it's like I say, it's just literally simplicity itself and dead relaxed. Wesley Place, hiya Wesley, you alright mate? Use Discord, an app that should do the trick. What is Discord? Discord. I think I've heard of that, you know. Somebody's mentioned something about Discord, but like I say, I'm not really technically fantastic, so that sounds awesome. Jack Thomas, when did you first start playing darts? Well, I first started playing darts when I was about 6 or 7, and I used to play as like my brother's dummy, because my brother was fantastic. He used to, like I say, when the embassy, right towards the end of the embassy and the beginning of the BDO. I mean, it was still the BDO then, but it was like the World Championships was the Embassy World Championships. And then it went from that to just the World Championships, I think, and then it went to the Lakeside. But I think it was before even the Lakeside was about. And I just used to pace out my brother, and it was one of them, just got pasted all the time. But the thing is when you're throwing, it sort of like, it gets you into it. And then, like I say, as I grew older a bit more older, and we moved from Levenzoom up to Hyde, then it all started to change. I was getting to be a teenager and what have you, and I was more interested in girls than I was darts, which I think 99% of lads do that. If they play darts when they're a young lad like me, and even before I played darts, I used to watch my dad in the club, and that was in Manchester, and it was on the log end. We used to have the log end board, and that's a totally different game than what we play, and the board's totally different. It's about 2/3 of the size, and the doubles on it, there's no trebles, there's only doubles, and the doubles are tiny, absolutely tiny, and so is the bull. It's a lot harder game than what we play, but you play around the board on it. So you go round the board, whichever the first double that you hit at the end, it's the same as pretty much like round the clock, or however we call it. We call it round the board where I come from, and we play it so you can actually achieve round the board in 7 darts. So, I mean, I've done loads of 9 darters of them. I've done quite a few of them. I've never actually had a 7 darter though. I've got to say that's one of the things. I've had 9 darts on 501. Never in a live competition, so I don't count it as like a proper 9 darters. But I've had a few of them, 4 of them, I think. It's either 4 or 5 9 darters. I've had one in front of someone else, my brother who I was playing against. The others were in practice, so I don't count them. But I've never had a 7 dart round the board leg, which is obviously double 1, 3, double 4, 9, double 10, double 1, bullseye. So that's your quickest way of doing it. But yeah, where are we? Oh, nice one. Dave's in again. Cheers, Dave. Absolute star. You're an absolute star, mate. Let's fire the old man back up again. Let's see if we can get him on. Here he is. Are you ready, Dave? Yeah. Cheers, Dave, mate. Really appreciated. Absolutely love you, mate. Nice one. Thanks so much. Steve Lamore, birthday yesterday. How did I miss that? Sorry about that, Steve, mate. I'm heartbroken now. I didn't realise it was your birthday yesterday. I've not seen anything on my Facebook account. It didn't come up and tell me. Oh, sorry about that, fella. I missed it. Gutted. I don't mind, but I went on Facebook a few times yesterday, but it never came up on me notifications, which is very unusual. Anyway, happy birthday for yesterday, mate. Happy birthday. Just felt so much better. Yeah, that's Stu McNally again. Yeah, it just does. When you get it right, you can tell straight away, and the darts they just flow out your hand, and it's just, I suppose it's like a bit like being in the zone, isn't it? But not quite as intense as being in the zone, because you can actually replicate it day after day after day, and something with the zone is you can't do that. Yeah, tried to stop, and you're right. Yeah, I spent 2.5 years. I mean, a lot of people don't realise that the Dynamite Dave way wasn't just something that came into my head one day, and I just thought that I knew a lot more than anybody else, or I know everything and all that, because I've never been like that. What do you call it? I started the Dynamite Dave way because I was just going through this story again. I'm sure some of you will have heard it before, but I'll go through it again anyway. I was just an average dart player, an average Joe, on something like 35, 40 average, on a good day, maybe 45. And I just weren't happy with it. I wasn't happy with it at all. I came back to darting after having many years off, as I halfway got through with the other one when I went off at a tangent like I normally do. When I got into my teens, I stopped playing darts because I was more interested in girls. And when I came back to it was when my son was 21, my eldest son. I bought him a dartboard for his 21st birthday. And I just fell back in love with playing. But I was no good. I wasn't good at all. Like I say, 40, 45 average on a good day. And I just thought to myself, there's got to be a way, because I'm an engineer. That's what I was when I was a young lad. I was an engineer all through my youth. I had my own garage, my own mobile mechanic business. But I was a motor vehicle engineer, not just a fitter. I was an engineer. So, being an engineer, and I like to know how things work, and I like to understand why they work, what they do, and how they do it, and why they do it. So I did the same thing with the darts, and what I did was I set about a 2.5 year journey. I got me thingy, I got me action man down out of the loft from when I was a kid. I had an action man when I was a kid, one with grippy hands and wobbly eyes from the back of the head. I had one of them, and I got him down, and I was putting him in different poses, and I was doing research on which is the most solid stance you can have, and everything sort of like, it all rotates back to the same thing. It's boxing, it's cricket, it's golf. Virtually every sport where you have to have a good solid stance to perform an action, the stance is the same. It's shoulder width apart, your feet shoulder width apart, nice and straight, and finger that gives you the most amount of surface to surface area between your feet and the ground below you. And the more surface to surface area you've got, the better, not grip that you've got, the better contact you've got with the floor, the bigger contact patch. And the bigger your contact patch is, the more stable you are. And that is an absolute fact, that. And if you stand there, just straight as if you were stood at the bar, like I'm stood talking to you now, and you just rock your weight onto your lead foot. So if you're right-handed, it's your right foot. If you're left-handed, it's your left foot. If you just rock the weight onto it, and then just feel how solid you are, and then try leaning and pulling your back foot up off the floor, and then just see how unstable you become. It's dead easy for you to do this and feel it for yourself. Now, this is what I do a lot with people when they come for face-to-face coaching. What I'll do is, if they set up in a stance where the foot's hovering up off the back of the floor and they're leant right forward like this, all I do is I go up and I poke them like that. And when I poke them like that, they virtually fall over. And then what I do is I stand there, I set up, and I stand there, put my arm up, and I say to them, right, poke me. And they poke me and they go, God, you're solid. Yeah, you're solid, aren't you? And it's just those little things that just make the actual thinking through of the Dynamite Dave way and what have you. It works, and it works for a reason, because everything makes sense. Everything is logical about it. The feet, the amount of contact patch you've got, the fact that all you're doing is just rocking your weight onto your front foot. If you look at the way that I throw, I ain't leaning right over here. I'm just stood up, dead straight. I'm not bothered that I'm not near the board, because that doesn't matter. It's more important to be stable. leaning towards the board. If you think that you're reducing the distance between you and the board, you're not. What you're doing is you're making it so you're having to throw up at the board and you're putting more elements into your throw. The more elements you put into your throw, the more complicated it becomes. The more complicated it becomes, the more complicated it becomes to repeat. And don't forget, to get a 180, you've got to do the same thing exactly, pin perfect, 3 times to get a 180. And how much easier is it when all you use it is just that, and that's all it is just that, rather than doing all this while you try to throw your darts, or going forward when you're throwing them and moving about, or if you're pulling your dart sideways like this and then throwing it. All you've got to do is release that dart a split second too early, split second too late, and it's over in the 1, over in the 5, out the board. It's just, the Dynamite Dave Wade just makes it so simple. It makes everything dead simple and dead easy to do. So let's have a seat. I'll turn that round a little bit to here so you can actually see me. Let's turn it down a little bit so you can actually see his front. It's upwards. Right, have we had anything? Oh, I'm missing loads of chats here, loads of comments. It's stopped. Yeah, just the more stable you become, the easier it is to actually do it. Now, I've moved the camera now, so I'm having to stand over here and operate the doings, as we say, where I come from. Any tip for Dan? You're pulling back too far. If it's hitting your shoulder, you're coming back too far. What it should be is it should be till your muscle just touches. So basically you get a bounce off it. You should be able to get a bounce off your muscle as it comes to the back of your throw. If you're coming back far enough for the dart to hit your arm, you're forcing it in before you're letting it out. Just let it so as it's just like my American mate says, meat on meat. So basically it's just as your arm just touches and bounces, and that will give you the same backswing every time, which again is another thing that's important for you to get a really nice consistent arm speed. As you can see, my darts come close to my shoulder, but they never actually touch. Same with your face. Make sure that your darts don't clobber your face, because obviously as you're going forward, if your dart touches your face, it's actually turning the dart as you're driving it forward, and that again will make it go off into probably the wrong numbers. Right. Oh, come on. It's a bit hard to throw with this in my pocket. I'll have to try and work something out for next time and see if I can get one of them strap things so as I can put it on the back of my trousers or something. Because I've got a big, no, you probably can't see, but I've got a big lump in my pocket and it's not making it very easy to throw. And it's not warm in here either. See if we can warm this arm up a little bit. You'll notice when I'm chatting to you, when I go back to throw, it takes me 2 or 3 visits to actually be able to throw properly again. And that's the difference between somebody who is a natural dart player and somebody like me, who is what I call a jobbing dart player. Hello, Morris. Hiya, Morris. Hope you're well. No, but and the thing is it's, I mean, I'm starting to call it a bit of a revolution now, because there's There's more. Like I've said on the other videos, and I've said on my videos on YouTube, there's now thousands of people who are playing in a Dynamite Dave way, obviously to different levels. Some people have gone the old log that have come for coaching and etc., like Steve Lamore, changed everything. And then there's others that are just adopting little parts out of it. But if you just try the feet and adjust what you're doing and just try and get yourself into a more stable position, it just makes sense. Think about it. Leaning forward, if you actually lean forward, and you see a lot of dart players, the back foot comes up off the floor. I think Rob Cross does it. Pretty sure Rob Cross does it, or there's a couple of players anyway out there where when they're actually throwing the dart, the foot comes up off the floor. Now, if you, just for a bit of an experiment, you try and stand and throw your darts from one foot, put your other foot up off the floor and try and keep stable while you try and throw your darts. It's just, there's no stability in it. And it's just a degree from there backwards. If you've just got the end of your toe on the floor, it's dead easy to do it. All you've got to do is put your leg out behind you, just put your toe on the floor and get somebody to give you a little bit of a shove and just see how unstable you are. It's just, it's phenomenal. It really is. Hi Ian Dunn. Cheers mate, yeah. Like you've just said, basically it's common sense. It's common sense and it's body mechanics. If you think about it, any time when you're most stable is when you stood still with your 2 feet shoulder width apart and you stood up straight. I've had not a massive amount of people, but I've had a few that they turn side on like this and they bend over like a banana, and it's all just so as they can get that dart in front of the face. Instead of standing up like this, they do this to try and get the dart in front of the face. You just need to stand up straight. If you're bent over like this, you've got a skewed perspective of the board and you're overbalancing. If you're stood like this, there's no way that you can be stable. You're just overbalancing backwards all the time. If you do that, you need to be stood up straight. Hi Luke. You alright lad? I hope you're well. Can't wait to... Yeah, once lockdown finishes, mate, it'll be all systems go then. I've got quite a lot of people that I think that are on, not a list, because obviously everybody's going to be fitted in. I'm going to fit everybody in. Hopefully, when we come out of lockdown, I'm hoping to fit everybody in within a month. So what I might have to do is take a couple of weeks off work, because there's quite a few people who want to come and stay a few days with me as well. So that'll all have to be sorted out once we get the go ahead. If we come into like a partial freedom, so I can do certain people, but you can't travel too far and all that. I'll get all the ones that are close to me done first, and then that'll free up more slots for people who are a bit further away. But I'll always fit you in, mate. Even if I have to work till 8 o'clock at night, I'll still fit people in. Mensur. Yeah, Mensur Suljovic, yeah. Exactly. One of the oddest throws. But he's around, isn't he? But, like you say, it's horses for courses. Don't forget, everybody who's playing now in the PDC and the people who are at the top of the World Championships and all this, that and the other, all have, not all of them have individualistic throws, but they're all, or should I say, quite a few of them have individualistic throws, but you can tell the mainstay. Look at the people that are always at the top all the time. You've got Michael Van Gerwen. Now that he looks like he's leaning right forward and he's chucking up at the board, but if you get a picture of him and put him up vertical as if he stood up vertical, his actual arm is level. It's just the fact that he's leaning down, which is I'm a little teapot, and that's how you move the Dynamite Dave throw around. He's still got a mechanical throw. Gary Anderson, it's a totally different throw than mine, but his throw is ultimately repeatable, and that's why he's been at the top for the amount of years that he has. Look at 2 of the best throws in the world, and one of them, I think, is the best throw in the world, and the second one is one that you probably won't think about, but he is. But there's a few of them about. Number 1 is RVB. Look at Raymond van Barnevel's throw from the side of his head, like I do. Absolutely effortless. You watch him throw, there's just no effort in what he does at all. It just like that, boom, into the board. Another one is Martin Adams, Wolfie. He's another one. Fantastic throw. Nice and easy from the side of the head. Another one, which was the princess of the BDO for many years, and that was Tony O'Shea. Another one. That throw, and he was at the top of the BDO for years and years and years before he retired. All right, he never became world champion, but his throw was fantastic, and he was always there. And then you've got the other ones at the other end of the scale, like your Davy Chisnells. He's in one competition, then you don't see him for so long, and then he's back again, because his throw isn't as repeatable. It's not as reliable. You get times when you're really, really good, like John Henderson. I'd say probably the last 12 to 18 months, he's played really well. But before that, we didn't see him for years. You'd see him every now and again. He might get to the qualifiers in the UK Open. You might see him in the PDC on 1 or 2 occasions a year, and that'd be it. So you've got your two ends of the scale, and now what's going to happen, or what I believe is going to happen from now on, is we're going to get like Formula 1. If you think about it, or let's say motorbike racing, let's take the Isle of Man TT. In the 1970s, 60s and 70s, when my father used to do it, right, it used to be on an old James 350, which was a clacky old motorbike, and I'm telling you now, he used to go in and drink 3 or 4 pints of beer in the pub before throwing his leg over his bike and riding it at 100 mile an hour around the Isle of Man course. They don't do that now, do they? It's a totally different story. The bikes have come on leaps and bounds. The riders have come on leaps and bounds. They're in the gym. They're not in the pub. They're in the gym. And it's all about that. Everything sort of like turns as things develop and things go further on. The margins become smaller and smaller, and as those margins become smaller and smaller, you will find that dart players will throw more and more similarly. And we've got quite a few of them that are throwing a mechanical way now. Quite a few of them. One of them, in a way, is Peter Wright. He's very methodical and very mechanical, and that's why he's always looking for that little bit extra. The fantastic thing about Peter is, and nobody can dispute this, that it's mechanical, because he can throw any set of darts, can't he? If you look in a 12-month period, how many different sets of darts does he use? And there's a reason for that, because he can throw anything. Just like me, I can throw any darts. I've proved that with the Meteors, with the 50 grammars. So yeah, it's just something that has gone on and will carry on going on. It will just, like I say, the margins will get smaller. The equipment, look at the difference in the darts, the equipment that we've got now to say 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I think the most advanced thing we had was those stems where you could slide the dart in from the side, the flight in from the side. Other than that, there was 10, 15 years ago, there was virtually no spinners, there was virtually no like top line equipment. The darts were all 75, 80% tungsten, whereas now we've got 90, 95, 97 we're coming to now. And that shows all the things, the weight matching. You go back to a 70s, 80s set of darts like these ones from the mid-80s, our kids. Yeah, these ones from the mid-80s. I bet there's a good half a gram, maybe more than that, 3/4 of a gram between them. Whereas now it's 0.01, isn't it, of a gram in a lot of the weight matching. So everything moves on. It's a progression. Luke Lacey, hiya Luke, mate, you alright? Oh, it was yours I was just reading a minute ago. This isn't going. Hiya Neil. Neil's darts is in. You have to forgive me, this chat thing isn't, it's not scrolling on for some reason. Love Adrian Lewis though. Yeah, we all have our favourite dart players. One of my favourite dart players, even though I've just said he's inconsistent, is Dave Chisnell. I love him to bits. There's just something about him. I like the way he goes about things. It's like, it's odd, but it's not odd. If you think about it, he nearly always has his shirt done up, doesn't he? Right up to his collar. So he's nice and neat, and he always stands dead respectfully at the back of the hockey. He never interferes with anybody. He never like brushes past or tries to do any form of gamesmanship whatsoever. And that's what I love about him. He's brilliant because he's absolutely bang on. in the attitude that he has. He has a what I consider to be a really professional attitude. It's just a shame that he can't get that throw of his more reliably repeatable. Because don't forget, he's one of the best 180 hitters in the world, and there's no doubt about that. Norris Goals, hiya mate, how are you? I'm alright buddy, how are you? Dartitis last time I was on. I found a video on your YouTube which helped me. It's a clapping technique. Like the ball in the basket. So it'll be something similar to that. Yeah, there's a few different ways that you can manage it. It's horses for courses. Dartitis it's been classed as a disease. What it is it's a neurological disease. Probably not really, because it's like, how can I explain it? It's when you allow, and I've said this to loads and loads and loads of dart players that I've coached, whatever you do, never stop at the back of your throw. For the simple reason is any stop in your throw, so basically if you're not a rhythm player, you're stopping and then you're throwing your darts, the problem that you've got is once that confidence starts to wane, as you start to get older because your body changes. Thanks Callum, absolute star mate. I'll get you a thing, your 180 in a second. As your body starts to change as you get older and you lose that little bit of a confidence, what happens is your brain starts to get in between. So as you come back, you're thinking to yourself, the dart's not going to go where I want it to. And that's when that starts. And then it gets worse and worse and worse. And it gets to a point where you can't let go of the dart. And I've seen even some young lads, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, that have got it. And it's not, to be honest with you, it's different when you are that sort of age, because it's a lot easier to get out of than it is when you're older. Right, Callum, let's see if we can sort one of these out for you. Oh, is it upside down? It is. Won't be that sort of one out when it's upside down, will I? Oh, David. Right, here we go. Are we ready? This is for Callum.
180.
Cheers, fella. Really appreciated. The support is always needed and it's always really appreciated. Thank you so much. How often do you recommend board rotation? Depends on what type of board you've got. If you've got a unicorn one, I'd rotate it straight into the nearest bin. No, I'm only kidding. It's one of my pet things that I do not like unicorn dartboards. But if you've got a Windmill Blade 5 or the Mission Samurai and what have you, again, like anything, it all depends. If you're only chucking at the board once a week, you could be able to do it about once a month, once every 6 weeks. If you're playing on it every day, then what I would do is I would turn it every 2 or 3 days and do it in a sequenced manner. So don't go from 20s to 18s, and also don't go from 20s to 3s. What I tend to do is what I call thirds. Again, it goes back to mechanicking. It's like talking a cylinder head up. You never talk a cylinder head up from one side to the other. You start in the middle and work your way out, and there's a sequence in doing it. And turning your board is exactly the same. What I would do is just turn it in like a sequence of either 2 or 3, 4 or 5 different segments. So turning it and then just turn it one across and then start that sequence again, and you'll rotate it round all your red segments, so they're used nice and evenly, and that will mean that your board will last the maximum amount of time. To be honest with you though, nowadays, especially with these samurai boards, they're not, I mean, I know everybody's different and not everybody can afford a new board every 5 minutes. I understand that. But once it starts to get really tired and it's time for it to go, you'll know when it's time for it to go. For 30 quid, it's not worth using one to the point where it's affecting your game. Because we used to play on one years and years ago, and the bristles on it, you couldn't even see the wires. It had exploded a bit and what have you, and the wires became, you could hardly see where they were, and it causes arguments in games whether you've hit the double or you haven't hit it. But yeah, just rotate it. Like I say, find yourself a sequence to do it in. Something I've never thought about is an actual sequence itself, because I just do it. Like I say, what I'll do is I'll go from 20s over to the 10, turn the 10 up, and then go from, obviously it's your 10 is your 20 then. So then I would do the same again, go to that one again, turn it once more, and then you've had your third. Then what I would do is turn it 1 or 2 and then start the same process again. So then your 18 would, after your 10 has gone up, and then it'd be your 3 that's at the top. I would then go to 18, the old 18 that way, and then start again. So you're getting a nice even way of thingy the board where. Nice goals. Yeah. Yeah, I understand what you mean. I've got to be honest with you, Norris, it's not me that's made that video. I think it's the other fella, the one who actually specialises in Dartitis. But I know what he's doing. What that's doing is it's retraining your neurological paths inside your brain. So your brain doesn't. So when you're actually throwing, your brain isn't using the same neurological path as it used to use when you were struggling. That's what it is. It's all about changing the paths, because your brain's like a massive road map, and there's like all those little roads and what have you. As you know, all roads lead to Rome, and you can go different ways, can't you, to get to the same place. Same when you go on a journey to the supermarket, there's probably 7 or 8 different ways you can go, and it's the same with the neurological pathways in your brain. That's why a lot of people, when they've had, it can even be up to quite a severe head injury, can retrain themselves and retrain the thinking to make all the limbs and everything work again, because they can re-change the paths of the way that the actual neurons fire in the brain. Chris Little. Whose throw do you think out of the current crop is the most similar to the Dynamite Dave way? Out of the current crop, Cullen's not far off. Mike Smith, again, not that far off. Nice rhythm players, both of them. The only thing with Cullen is his arm comes quite a long way out, whereas mine doesn't. I think those two. The other one that's not far off mine and is absolutely fantastic throw is Ian Diamond White's. I think his is not that far off. He just comes slightly under his face, under the side of his cheek, rather than from the actual side of his head like I do. But as I say, I think what'll happen over the next, well, we'll see, won't we? I'm sure I'll still be here in 5 or 6 years' time. So we'll see how things change. It's amazing to me how I think it, and it wasn't me that noticed it, it was somebody else. And it's somebody who goes and does a little bit of research on the old darts videos. What he said is he'd been back because of what I'd been teaching, like the double finishes and what have you. And he said he went back about 5 years, and there was virtually none in any of the world darts and the top pro players. Virtually none of them were doing double finishes. Even the lads from the Netherlands, where they do things a bit different, Australia, etc., America, where they do things different. Nobody was doing double finishes. Whereas we see now in virtually every world-class tournament, you've got the pros now going for double finishes, because again, it's just common sense. That double is twice the size of a treble. That double, especially if you're on like a low, if it's not a full combination, so basically like a 1-6-1 where you've got 20s, 17s for bull, etc. If it's just a 2 dart combination, so like say a 72, a 76, a 77, a 74, 74 for me is double 17, double top, for the simple reason, and this is my way of thinking of things, dead common sense. If you go for the inside wire of the 17 and you miss it, it's only a matter of putting another dart right next to it, so the throw is exactly the same, you're not changing a thing, and your brain is already locked and loaded on the double top, so you've far more chance of hitting it. If you go for something, a treble, and miss it, and then you've got to start thinking where you need to go for the next ones. I know some lads are really good at maths and they don't have to think about it. They can just like systematically change from one to the other. But I still think that if you're putting two darts one next to each other, all right, if the first one goes in, then you've got two for tops. But if it misses on the inside of the wire, which is what I do, is I aim for the inside of the wire, and everybody who plays against me will tell you it'll just be another one next to it and double top. And when you're as good on your doubles as I am, then it's not an issue. It's you've got as much chance of hitting that as you have any other double at any time. Plus another thing is if you do finish that way, it's incorporating your doubles into your game. And at the end of the day, it's the only way you're ever going to win a leg, and it's the only way you're ever going to win a match is by hitting your doubles. Right, see if this is actually scrolling. No, it's not scrolling down again. I don't know what I've done to it. Oh, I've got quite a lot of practice routines that I do. I don't tend to do like Bob's Sweaty 7 or any of them like that. A lot of my focus is structured, but not the same, if you know what I mean. Like I say, I never hammer at doubles, never hammer at trebles. I'm doing different things all the time, but I'd say probably slightly weighted towards the doubles. So another great one for me, and what I love doing is I play 501, but it depends on what level you play at. But what you do is you're only allowed to score on doubles and singles. Trebles are out. We don't use trebles. You can use the bullseye and the outer bull, but and this is where it becomes nice and interesting. This, first of all, what we do is you're allowed to hit any double 3 times in a leg. So if you go double top and you go double top, double top, double top, all right, you scored 120, but you can't go for double top again, so you can't finish on it. So it's good because it makes you think. And then once you get proficient at that, what we do is it's 3 doubles in any 3 legs, and then that's when it starts to get interesting. And that is a fantastic practice game. That really good, because it keeps you on your doubles, but it keeps you interested because you're playing a game. If you've got an app, a droid, a bot, whatever you want to play against, if you drop that down, so say your bot is normally on, I usually play on thingy like Dart Scoreboard, anywhere between 15 and 18 out of 20. Rust Bray goes up to 10. I normally play it on 9, sometimes on 8, depending on what type of practice game I'm playing against it. But if I'm playing 501 just using the doubles, I'll drop the bot down to 6 or 7, or on Dart Scoreboard 10 or 12, something like that, and then I'll play against that. And to be honest with you, it'll probably beat me most of the time when I'm just using the doubles, because obviously I haven't got the scoring power. And once you get 2 legs out of 3 in, your actual scoring choices have diminished quite a bit. So it is really a good practice game, that. So there's one for you if you want to have a go at that. I love it, mate. Oh, it's fired up again, Chris Littlewood. Hi, Chris Littlewood. Are you all right, mate? I didn't notice you come in there. Sorry. Too busy waffling. I no doubt I've missed a few others as well. Brett's there. Ryan, Stu, Scottish lad. Hi, Kieran. I didn't know you were still there, mate. I thought you dipped in and disappeared. But yeah, great stuff. Great that they've stuck around. I don't tend to be able to do that when people are on live streams, because I'm bouncing from one thing to another. I'm normally answering emails and all sorts of stuff. Neil's still with us, Neil Magowski. Have you ever thought about a belt system for students, like the old Kung Fu days? Yeah, different coloured flights. How about that one, eh? Start off on white, then you can go to yellow, then it's orange. Yeah. You'll see what you mean, working your way all the way up to black flights, and then you can have the piece de resistance is when you become a 3rd Dan, you can actually have the Dynamite Dave black flights with the emblems on them. So that's the piece de resistance, that, when you get to top level. Yeah, good, great fun. Yeah. Right, have we got to the bottom now? Yes, we have. Great stuff. Oh, come on. Ah. Arm's gone off the boil again. Let's have a play with something different, shall we? Well, I'll tell you what. Let's have a go with the super bit darts, the borers. I think they're called borer. Somebody borer anyway. Not boring, but borer. So you know, these are quite a long dart, these. But again, with the mechanical throw, as you can see, they sit in the board exactly the same as the others do. Nice and flat. So we can go from the bores to something different in a minute. There we go. Is it? It is. Boom. Tops. Cracking way to finish a ton, that is. Love it. There you go, first dart bullseye. Oh, deflection. Oh, and again. Right, so we've had a couple of throws with them. Let's put them down and pick something else up. We'll have a go with the Simon Whitlocks again like we did the other night, shall we? Now these are a bit hard to throw, these, because the purple ones that came from Windmill, I don't know, these might be Windmill and all, I'm not 100% sure, but I know that the dip in them, in the other ones, the actual back end of here isn't quite as pronouncedly smaller, however you put it. But these, you have to throw these slightly different in the hand. I have to grip them a slight bit further along the barrel because of that dip. And that's one of the reasons why I don't like the Mervyn King darts. I just can't seem to hold them properly. Tunski. Tunski. You'll have to forgive me doing a bit of snotting and grunting, I've got a little bit of a cold. Oh, so close yet so far away. Aye. Thought I was going to get an hat trick there. And again, pulled it into that corner of the one. That'll be okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what then, Neil, mate. You can start off on a blue flight. Yeah? We'll let you start off on a blue flight because I think you've got that far up to now. Oh, that's terrible, David. Ow. Oh, that's one way. Oh no, it's not gone in. Thought it was in the treble one then. I think I got a 9 for you the other week. Oh, and again! Look at that! It's so annoying! So annoying. Right in that corner again. That's the third or fourth time I've hit it right in that hole. And again on the 5s. 95. Right, so there you go, we've had a few handfuls with them. What can we go to now? Oh, yeah, some of my One of my old favourites here. I've got the BVD Veracities. Not the Scaracities, but the Veracities. And these have got the old click systems. Well, they're not old. I had no intention of changing them anyway. To be honest with you, it's just the fact that Johnny Cree, who's an absolute star, oh dear David, sent me some of those lovely custom printed L-style flights. So I matched them up with stems and I thought it's only right to use them, and if somebody sent them you. Oh, phenomenal grouping. '81. Putting you. Have you ever thought of designing and selling some custom darts? Yes, I've actually thought about it, to be honest with you. It's one of them. I think, what's his name? Terrible, David. My memory's awful. The young lad who does all the thing in the darts designs, he designed me a set, but I think he's been busy with Loxley and other people that are a little bit more important than me. And we got to a point where we had like a final design, and I just asked him to get me a price for making some up in standard and some gold, but never came to fruition. So I'm thinking about actually approaching, I think there's a manufacturer in England somewhere, I think they're called Phoenix Darts or something like that. And what I might do is make my own like designer barrel, and then find out how much it'll cost me for 100 sets off them or something like that, and then retail them out myself, get the boxes made by someone and possibly retail them out myself to people and give some away as prizes and that. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, Zach. Yeah, Zachy Grayling. Yeah. I knew it'd come back to me when you told me who it was. Oh, come on, David. Oh, grief. 85 again. What time is it? Oh, we've been on an hour and 15 minutes. We'll have another 10 minutes, before we call it a draw. I know it's only supposed to be an hour, but I'm enjoying myself. I hope you are. Enjoying this. It's just nice and relaxed. Custom made darts, mate. Yeah, that's what I want. It's a matter of it's getting the design though, innit? Because I want them to be right to fit in the thing in the Dynamite Dave grip in the natural manner. And I can grip any darts, but I think there's a certain shape that fits the Dynamite Dave grip really well, and it's like a stretched out version of the Darryl Fitton type of shape. So there's that, and like obviously the straight-ish with the nose cone on them. I never seem to get on really well with bull nose darts, so there might be two models that work really well. $100. $80. don't mind, but I haven't thrown these darts for weeks. But it's weird, isn't it? They're just like a pair of old slippers. Right, so we've had a chuck with them. What else have we got? Have a look what else we've got lying about that we can have a chuck of. We'll have a go with the old faithfuls, eh, shall we? The ones that started it all off. Which are the Target Carrera C3s. These are a bit heavier, aren't these? Are 26, I think, these. Oh, come on. Drag that last one. Or 2 or 3 visits to get used to the weight and the shape of them again. Yeah, great last dart there. 94. $57. Oh, 57 again. Look over. How are those Trident points going? I haven't put them on anything yet. Like I said, I will put them in. I'll put them in something probably tomorrow. But I'll find a set of darts that I can put them into, and I'll give them a go then. But the Tridents. Sorry, mate. I thought you were talking about those vicious things that Thingy sent me, that Paul sent me. Yeah, the Tridents are fine. I find them pretty good. They're on my main set of darts, which I've been using now with them on for a couple of weeks, and I find them really good. I mean, whether I can say definitively whether they're saving me flights or not, I'm not 100% sure, but yes, they are good. They sort of like, they just look really neat, don't they? The way that the nose cone sits onto the front of the barrel of your dart. I mean, these have got like a tapered nose anyway, so I don't know how they'd look on a bull nose, but they certainly look pretty good on these, and they because they're black anodized, they do actually grip into the board really well. So yeah, on impact they think they do grip quite well. So we'll have a chuck with the ones with the Trident points now then, shall we? $60. Should have gone for the 19s there, shouldn't I? But nice grouping. Oh dear, come on, David. What's the matter with you? It's better. 81. $100. So we're back in the ton machine. Oh dear, that was terrible. Dragged it right across. That's better. No, Chris, mate, I wish it was. Really do wish it was, mate. That's the goal, that's the ambition. That's why I'm always on the beg off you lads for the super chats and what have you. I'm hoping at some point, yeah, that it will become my full-time job. That's the ambition, my life's ambition, is to be able to do this, because I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. I'd love to be able to get myself a little unit where I could put 5 or 6 dartboards or 3 or 4 dartboards, have a little bit of an online shop, have people over to Finger to have coaching and what have you, and just be able to work from that shop, do the videos, do some live streaming and what have you, and just, yeah, do it for a living. And I'd love to be able to go and do a bit of travelling and all, and go and see some of the people that Finger that have made it all possible, which is you guys, all of you. That'd probably be one of the hardest things to do, is choose who you're going to go and see. Oh! Too busy yakking, did you see that? Look at the grouping on them first two and all. That's good even for me. Look at grouping on that. 140. Come on, Steve. 140. Good at all. Hey, yep. Oh, Chris Littlebud, cheers, mate. Absolute star. Thank you so much. Let's fire the old girl up. There we go, he's in the house again.
180.
Cheers, Chris. Thanks so much, mate. Every little bit helps. Every little bit counts.
You require 141.
What, again? Oh, no. Too busy laughing and joking. $85. Back in again. Oh, David. Is it? It is 140. Or it's 140. Still can't do it. Steve Lamore's the man for that. He's absolutely brilliant at it. What's the next video, Dave? It's going to be the Simon Whitlocks with, it's the full setup. It's going to be the Simon Whitlocks with the Condor flight and stem packages. Can't remember who it was who sent them me. I'm terribly sorry, my brain is like a sieve. But I'll have a look on the emails later on and see who it is who sent them. Here's a start then, pal. Cheers, Chris. You're an absolute star, mate. Yeah, so that's what this week's one that's going to be coming up. I'll think of another challenge and all. We'll try another challenge. What I might do is see if I can find the lightest legal set of darts that I can get. I think they're 12 grams or something, aren't they? Is the legal lightest ones 12 grams? Something like that. Might do the same with them as I did with the Meteors, which that'll be quite fun, won't it? Yeah, I think the lightest ones are something like 12 grams, I think. That BDO ref won't be on the TV again. Oh no, I tell you what though, he was funny, wasn't he? Hey, was he funny or was he not? We were rolling about laughing, weren't we? When we were in the pub. Do you remember we dredge? Every time I hit a 140 or Dredge did or you did that thing, that call. And it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. What I tell you what a time we had, eh? What a time we had. I'll never forget that for the rest of my life, mate, you coming over here, I won't. Dave, do you ever switch? To be honest with you, I think we all get what I call treble 20 fatigue. So if I'm playing in a game, I'll be like hammering them, and then I go off. I might have 1 or 2 visits where I'll either get an 85, an 81, or maybe a couple of 60s. Then what I do is I come down to the 19s and start scoring on the 19s, probably for 2 or 3 visits, and then go back up to the 20s again, and do that purposely. Come down to the 19s, go back up to the 18s. But yeah, if the bed's blocked, all depends. If I'm in a competitive situation, then yeah, I'll do the thing that makes the most sense, which is swapping out to the 19s. But I have been known to have the bed blocked completely and throw the dart right up in the air near the ceiling and try and land it in on top of the others. I've done that loads of times, and I do it in the pub and all. Hey, my mate's in. Whippy toe. All right, Whippy toe. Starman. This way. Starman. Mr. Whippy toe. My mate. 12 grams. Steve Bunting's. 12 grams, I think. Yeah. Right, so what I'll do is I'll have a look on the darts corner and what have you later tonight, and I'll see if I can get a set of them Steve Bunties, and I'll do a bit of a challenge with them. 12 grams must be throwing a feather. It's, to be honest with you, it's much of a muchness. I've got in the car, because in the car, because where I work, I go all over the place, and I used to go to a place called Expo, and I put them a dartboard up. It's a place that cleans trays, what we put our bread in, for Tesco's and what have you. And whenever I used to go to their place for empty baskets, they've got a dartboard up on the wall. But when I first went there, it was one that looked like the dog had had it and been chewing it and spit it out a few times, and I think they chucked it off, bounced it off the wall and what have you a few times and all. It was an absolute mess. So that year, I think it was, I went there in the February, and obviously we have the UK Open in the March, and I always take 4 or 5 boards with me to the UK Open. Sometimes I give a couple of them away, and sometimes what I do is I take a stand and what have you, and I'll put the dartboards up, and when I've finished with them, obviously when I come back I either give them to a pub or whatever, and I put a dartboard up there for them, and that's Expo in Doncaster, if any of the lads are out there watching. And yeah, I put a dartboard up for them, and in the car I think I've got a set of something like, I think the 16 or 17 grammars, just for a bit of a laugh. I just had them so they were nice and light to put in a little case, and just put them in my pocket so as I could go and have a chuck there. And they were quite entertaining when you let somebody else have a chuck of them. And you back on coffee and darts, Dave? Hopefully not too long. I love going on with Matt. I just absolutely love it. It's brilliant. And do you know something? It's a real shame, because when you go on his live streams, there's only like, sometimes there's 7 or 12 people watching, and it's a real shame that, because he deserves a lot more. He really, really does, because I think he's one of the best interviewers and what have you I've ever come across. I think he's really good, dead natural, dead good on the camera, dead good in the green room, preps you up and everything for what you're going to talk about. Brilliant place to appear on. Get into his ribs and get on there, mate. It's an experience. It's really good, really, really good. If you've got a webcam on your, what do you call it, he'll just send you a link, and all you do is just click on the link. You appear in the green room. You test your camera and your mic and everything. Make sure your levels are all right, and on you go. It's dead simple, and that's what I'm looking to do. I'm hoping to get that sort of setup here. Hiya, AD Green. You all right, lad? Hope everything's well with you. It's a shame you've come right at the end. It's 1:30 now. We've done an hour and a half, and my missus is going to lynch me if I stay on too much longer. So we'll have a bit of a countdown now. We'll have 2 or 3 visits and then finger, so everybody can say ta-ra to everybody. And then we'll do one, and we'll be back again next Friday night. I seem to have more. Yeah, well, everybody's different. That tends to suggest to me that you have, you're naturally setting up towards the 18s. If that feels more natural to you, you probably, I mean, I don't know because I can't see you, but you might be slightly over on the hockey or something like that, because I've got one that I'm doing a coaching video for at the moment, and he's standing right on the end of the hockey. And my mate out there, Neil Magowski, will tell you, standing on the end of the hockey, you might think that it works for you, but it doesn't. It doesn't at all. This is the most under. Yeah, I do and all. I do. Do you know something? I think Matt from Atomic Darts should be where the darts referee is. Way! Johnny baby! Cheers, mate. Absolute star. Thank you so, so much. Let's get it on here. Let's get it on. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Thank you so, so much. $20. What an absolute star. Cheers, fella. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Thanks so much. Right, let's have a few visits now while we wind it down. Yeah. Too much yakking, not enough chucking. Right, let's have a go with these ones. I'll tell you what, we'll do the last visits of the night with the bunker busters. Well, they're not bunker busters, are they? The meteors, but you know what I mean. So let's have a thing with this. What should I chuck for, lads? Somebody give us a number to chuck for with these. Is that 2? It certainly is. That's for the $20 there, mate. There's 2 double tops for you. Boom! Awesome Dawson. Oh, Yankee Clippers in. Hello, fella. How are you? You're a bit like me, are you, Yankee Clipper, in touch with your feminine side, because I do a lot of housework and all like that. It's only right. Oh yeah, there you go, look at that. 121 with the old meteors. Boom. Bull. Right, I'll have a go at bull then. Ooh. Oh, 1 outer. Oh, that's just don't wire. Not going to get any coconuts with these, am I? Or fish. Do you remember that on the fair? There you go, Stu. What was that? Dart number 7, I think that was, if I remember rightly. Dart number 7. There you go. And dart number 9, 2 in the bull. Ah, can you see that? Right, lads, I think that one from Stu, the bullseyes, I think we'll call that a draw. How about that? Dart 7 and dart 9. So we've got 2 in the bull on the 3rd visit. So can't complain about that. Right, lads and lasses, don't forget, you'll only ever get out of this game what you're prepared to put in. And always, 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 toe to the hockey. Love yous all. See you soon. See you next Friday, yeah? Take care now. And keep your eye out for the usual video coming out around Wednesday.